Have you ever seen your favorite YouTubers use some really interesting and cool Skyblock mods, but have found out that those mods later were paid, and that you would have had to pay for those mods? Well, in today's video, we're going to be exploring some of the free options for Skyblock mods. So, to start off, we're going to cover Not Enough Updates by 𝕸𝖚𝖘𝖎. It's completely free. All the download links will be in the description. This mod has several different options here. Miscellaneous stuff about the fact it shows on Skyblock, notification stuff, some of the stuff's just pointless, but to get into the good stuff, you can show stuff like quick commands, show the search bar, inventory buttons, tooltips, price, inventory, price auction, missing enchant list, item overlays. So these are actually kind of interesting. They can show you basically where you're clicking. For example, on my Builder's Wand, it will show you the blocks that you have selected. For example, it would be like showing me that these blocks are selected and you can place there. Some other stuff that's interesting here is stuff like the skill overlay. This gives it very useful information for stuff like farming to see. You can allow you to more easily calculate how long it's going to take for you to get to a certain farming level, or to get a certain amount of EXP they want to get, or even just crops in general by using the crops per minute. You can just do basic math from there. I mean, they don't even have any XP per hour already, so. Miscellaneous to-do list. This can show you whether you have buffs activated, whether your puzzler or Fletcher is ready, your commissions are ready, or any of your experiments are ready. Dungeons, this is honestly one that I like the most. Mind you, some of the features in these mods will overlap, but you can just disable them. Dungeon map allows you to have a cleaner map on the top of your screen. I can show this off in a bit here when we go into a dungeon. And it can show you stuff like show the windscreen, fancy windscreen, and it can show you profit. This is probably one of the most useful features, because when you're in a dungeon, you can't use commands. So instead of having to try and figure out how much an item is worth, it can tell you whether that chest is profitable to open. That is honestly one of the most useful features, and that has obviously been seen in many features. Solvers are kind of an interesting topic. Solvers, we'll show off one here. Solvers are rather interesting. Some people view them as cheating. I personally have a mixed feeling on them. Let's just do, what's this one? They can give you an advantage, because they can tell you where the next one to go is. And this really does take the skill out of these things, these minigames. However, to call them skill or really challenging would be a terrible name. They're all just memory-based, therefore making it pretty much just how good are you at memorizing, which for some people that's not an easy thing. As some people have issues with memorization, especially short-term memorization where you have to memorize stuff this fast. So my opinions on it are kind of interesting. I kind of have a mixed bag on this. I feel like that's kind of indicative of the community here. But it just allows you to more easily achieve the higher rewards and sections for the enchantment minigames. So I am going to X out here. I only got, yep, there we go. But that's one of the more interesting ones. It's more of a mixed bag of cats that some people don't like and some people do. The NU auction house, I don't actually use this. It allows you to see the auction house without, being able to do it. It feels really weird, not gonna lie. Improved Skyblock menus, this is actually really interesting. So if we go SB menu, and we go to stuff like fast travel, some of these menus you can actually change some stuff about them. It's not as massive as the massive new quick menu in some of the other ones. It looks like the entire map of the world, but you can do some stuff there. Calendar. This is actually really interesting. You can get a event notification, so I can see up here. You can also then view all of the events that are coming up and how long they are, and it'll also send you a notification when they're close to starting. Next, we go to the trade menu. This is this menu is meant to prevent scamming. It makes it so you have to double verify. On top of that, it will also alert you if somebody changes an item. Pet overlay. I'll add this. Pet overlay, it just shows information about your active pet, show how long it's going to take to get to the next level, how long, total EXP, etc. Enable search UI, it's it's just an easier version for the auction house. So if I go to the auction house, I do not have a cookie active. This makes it a lot easier to find an item. And this is honestly probably one of the, honestly I say one of the best features. It's so simple. You can just search like an item. And even if you like somewhat misspell it, or you don't know what item it is, it'll automatically search for just that item and put in the filters that you need, or the exact name, so that you do not have to worry about it. And it makes it so that instead of you searching like Necrons and having to deal with all the chest plates, you can just search that, or any item in the game. We're getting down to the final bits here. Accessory bag overlay shows an overlay on the accessory bag, which screen gives more information about your accessories. It just shows you how many by rarity. You can see the total stats. You can see the reforged stats. Some of these are not updating, but... And they also can tell you if any of your accessories do not have reforges. API key, this is just your Hypixel API key. One of the other major parts of not enough updates is this little arrow here, and you can see every single item in Hypixel Skyblock, every single custom item, including the base game items, of course, but you can then search for any item in the game. Example, Necrons, you can search for it, you can see a Necron's blade, you can see the prices of what these items would go for in the auction house, and you can view the recipe, and in fact, if you right-click and let it load, you can also see the Wikipedia page. It shows you a rough Wikipedia page from the Hypixel Wiki, which is very useful for figuring out what collection you need for certain items, or figuring out what items you need at all. You can also sort from down here, item worth, accessories, armor, tools, etc. Mobs. Another mod that I have here is Dankers Mod, which can be accessed by typing DSM in the chat. This has some of the same features like some experimental table solvers, skill per hour, per hour, and there's some puzzle solvers here for dungeons. I will show some of these off in a bit, some of the dungeons features in general. It also has some custom music for dungeons, some stuff like display, or outline display text, and then coordinate angle display, click on screen to open medic, take timer, display progress to skill of 50. I just see some basic stuff. So here's some of the interesting stuff like Spearbear spawn alerts, so it'll tell you, show you on the screen when you're able to do spawn, like when the Spearbear spawns. And then you can also toggle all of the messages for all of the mage weapons pretty much. And stuff like cooldown messages, etc. You can turn on stuff like golden enchants, which will make it so that the highest tiers of enchants are different colors. Colored pet backgrounds, execute kills and lore, guild party notifications, global spawn alert, RNGS alerts, low health notifications, find correct livid, which shows you, it just looks at the ceiling, pretty much. It just didn't tell what the correct livid is, and so you can just look at the ceiling. Display dungeon timers, stop salvage star items. This is just so you don't, it's meant to prevent you from salvaging anything that's important, like an expensive sword, Hyperion, etc. Display your watcher ready message, notify when Slayer is slain, Necron phase, and Bonzo mass timer. Next we go to the auto start, skill tracker, my tooltips, and then highlight the Arachnid and highlight Slayer. So that's kind of the main features of Dankers Mod. Some of these, like I said, are overlapping features with the other mods. Some of them are not, however. But you kind of need all of them to kind of, if you want every single feature, you kind of need all of them. The final mod here that I have to show off is, it's a little bit of a smaller mod. It's under the chat triggers main plugin, basically, that allows you to install stuff without, like, install these chat triggers without actually installing them individually. It's pretty small in comparison. A lot of these features are pretty much completely can be incorporated. So this is probably the least necessary, but if you wanted a simple and small for some of the stuff like a blaze solver, riddle solver, health notify, teammates low on health, a party kicker, these are almost exclusively just dungeons. It's called dungeons utilities. And it's much more of a simple one, like the loot tracker, etc. Show you what loot you've gotten and how much, like, and that only saves on your computer. So that's like one thing to note, is it will not be able to like track how much loot you've gotten on your entire Skyblock profile. But that's going to be it for the mods. I am going to hop into a dungeon here and show off some of the dungeon utilities. And we're back doing a dungeon. Just doing a floor 3 just to show off some of the features. Alright, the map started. So, if you ignore my fact that they're overlapping, you can see in the map in the top corner, as well as some other miscellaneous information, including like how many crypts your team has destroyed and the minutes that overlaps. This allows you to keep track of your score and stuff. I believe they're actually doing a collection run, so this is kind of pointless for me to do puzzles, but I will attempt to do them anyway. Well, okay, this is trouble. We're back. So here we have the water puzzle, and it will tell me which levers have to be flipped to get it. So we need purple, so purple needs quartz, gold, emerald, and clay down. Flip this. And this will pretty much allow you to much easily figure out this. You don't really have to spend even any effort to figure this one out. And then we need orange, which is just gold. So we'll turn off the water. And then we're going to flip all these back up. Make sure to let the water drain down. Alright. Quartz can go up. Clay can go up. And then the emerald can go up. Flip it again. Which is gold down. Oh, gold down coal. I'm a little blind. Let me quickly redo the water. Yep, there we go. So, that'll do orange. And then for the final one, we need red, which is gold, diamond, emerald, and clay. So flick off the water, it's already off. And then gold actually needs to be down, clay, emerald, and then diamond. So gold, clay, emerald, diamond. And I'll just flick this. We'll be able to finish off this puzzle, and there we go. This puzzle is solved. So these solvers make it much easier to do dungeons, etc. And we'll do another speed up until I finish the dungeon. Alright, and now we're back from me finishing that dungeon, and we can show off the profits. So you can see in this chest, it's a free, you can see that the book sells for $2,000 for level 26, and that would be 2,000 profit, or 2k profit, I mean, 2,000 to 2k. And each of these you can see how much you'd be down. This is a low level dungeon, so all of these will be not profit, except obviously a basic chest. But another thing that these mods add is the ability to see what floor items are from. So if we go out of here real quick, you can see where each floor of these items come from and their item quality. So, a legendary piece of armor from a floor is 100% quality. So you can see that these pieces are like 96 and from floor 3. This is 50 from floor 3. This chestplate here is 100%. And this is a legendary super heavy, and it's from floor 6. So this allows you to more easily see like if your armor's good from like dungeon drop type of armor, not as in like chest drops, but mob drop items. And this can allow you to more easily interpret the value of an item, because high quality items can still be somewhat useful, especially in the earlier game, where you care a little bit more about some of the earlier stuff. Finally, we're going to show off something that I don't really exactly have a place for in this, because it's not a mod per se. It is a texture pack. And this texture pack removes the block breaking particles when you're breaking crops to make it less laggy. So I do not have a cookie active at the moment, so this would be not exactly the fairest test. But if I grab a ship paper and I go down here, there is no breaking particles, which can drastically increase your performance while farming crops. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will include download links to all of these, as well as Optifine. I kind of assumed for this video that everyone knows that Optifine is a major resource, and just increases your performance. You should use it on any mod pack on any server that you can possibly use Optifine on, because it is an amazing tool. So that's going to finish off this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye!